Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Ian, Garry, little Conor McGregor. Hopefully he's better outside the cage. Versus Darian Weeks. We've seen Darian Weeks lose against Brian Barberena, but he looked pretty good. He had moments in there. He just couldn't get the job done. Ian Garry, 8-0. Minus 350 favorite, plus 260 underdog for Darian Weeks. I actually really like this matchup. Hope I don't sneeze. But yeah, I really like this matchup simply because Darian Weeks has this wrestling grinding style, forward pressure, all those things. And we've seen Ian Garry have a lot of trouble with Jordan Williams. And Jordan Williams was able to tag him up a little bit. He was able to do that. But as soon as Ian Garry had found his distance, he was able to close the show. But somebody like Darian Weeks, who hasn't been finished, he fought Brian Barberena and, got hit a lot. Ian Garry's 6'3" with a 74-inch reach. Darian Weeks is 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. Ian Garry will have 2 inches, but I think that grinding, heavy style for Darian Weeks, wrestling. I think it's going to cause him to get a little tired, and I don't think you'll be able to keep that pressure up as long as you need to subdue a guy like Ian Garry, a guy who is a sniper at this point in his career. He's only 24 years old. I hope the UFC doesn't push him hard. Let him, take your time with him. He doesn't need to fight the top 10, top 15 within, I'd say 4 or 5 years. Maybe even until he's 30. That's not going to happen because that's a lot of time, of course. But you know what I'm saying. I just don't want to see him get matched up crazy right away. I actually think a loss here wouldn't be a terrible thing if Weeks just wrestles him to death and he has to fix that or whatever. But I think the cardio is going to be an issue for Weeks, especially later in the rounds. And if Garry can find that shot, he really, really can hurt Weeks and put him away. I like Ian Garry. I think he finds that shot to put him down. But I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go Darian Weeks by decision. I'm gonna say Ian Garry can't keep him off of him, and Weeks goes to a close decision, but wins with wrestling. I think Darian Weeks can really put the pressure on Ian Garry, and I don't think a loss here would be that bad for Ian Garry. But I legitimately think a decision, submission. What? People have 59% of Darian Weeks beating him by what? How is it more than decision? What in the world? Oh my goodness. I have Darian Weeks by decision. I think that wrestling style is really going to help him out. As always, guys, hit that thumbs up button as hard as you possibly can. And,